How does Canada verify work experience for immigration? When applying for Canadian permanent residence, immigration officers may use several methods to verify your work experience history. After you have submitted your application for permanent residence, Immigration, Refugee, Citizenship Canada, IRCC confirms all the information provided. For most economic immigration applications like Express Entry, you will need to provide supporting documentations for your work experience history. Here are some ways IRCC may verify the information you have provided. Thank you very much for watching this video. I'm Amar Tawakoli. This is Persia Global. In this video, I'm going to share some details about verification of work experience and the process of Canadian visa application. If you're looking for gaining more updated information related to immigration and study abroad, subscribe to my channel or share the video with whom you think it comes handy. One of the most highlighted ways that your work experience is verified is through reference letter. In general, when submitting an economic immigration application, you will need to provide documentation that supports each period of work experience for the last 10 years. The best way to demonstrate your work experience is through a reference letter from your employer. A reference letter for immigration is not the same as the reference letter when applying for a job. For more information on what to include in your letter, I'll record another video on how to write a reference letter for Canadian immigration. If you're self-employed, a reference letter is not sufficient. Instead, you will need to provide documents such as articles of incorporation or other evidence of business ownership and a proof of self-employed income, as well as documentation from third parties confirming your services, including, for example, payment details, etc. Calling your workplace. When verifying your work experience, Canadian immigration officers may call your employer to confirm the details included in your application. However, it is not certain that IRCC will contact your employer. This will always be at the discretion of individual officer reviewing your case. All right? And the next method is to verify the business registration information that immigration officer always may also verify your employer's business registration documentation when confirming your employment history. During this process, they may check details such as the business address and contact information to ensure there are no red flags. For example, residential address provided for business address, private email address included with contact information. Confirming your NOC code. To determine whether you meet the requirements of an economic immigration program, an immigration officer will need to confirm your NOC code. To do so, they will review the duties included in your reference letter against the main duties of your selected NOC code. It is important to note that if the duties your employer provided in your reference letter are verbatim from the NOC code, it will likely raise the red flag to the immigration officer. The letter should include a genuine and a detailed list of duties that you carried out in your role at the company. Requesting additional documentation. If during the verification process, immigration officer require more information on your work experience, they may issue a request for additional documentation. The documentation that IRCC requests will depend on what you have already submitted and your individual situation. Verifying Canadian work experience. When verifying Canadian work experience, immigration officers will likely request your tax documentations, such as T4s, notice of assessment, etc. This will help the officer determine that the work experience in Canada was not self-employed. Self-employed Canadian work experience is not considered towards Canadian experience class eligibility. Candidates with a Canadian work experience should also provide a copy of their work and study permits. This will help the officer confirm whether you carried out your work on valid authorization and not while engaging in full-time studies. What happens if I don't include reference letter with my application? If you fail to provide a reference letter that verifies your work history, IRCC may return your application to you as incomplete. Once you submit your application for permanent residence, it is subject to a completeness check. During the completeness check, the immigration officer will go through to ensure all supporting documents are provided and complete. If the officer returns your application as incomplete, you will need to submit your application again. If you're applying through Express Entry, this may mean waiting for receiving another invitation to apply or ITA. Note, a personal affidavit attesting to your own work experience is not valid proof. If you submit a personal affidavit in place of sufficient proof, IRCC may return your application as incomplete. Misrepresentation information in writing your own reference letter or providing fraudulent documentation is considered misrepresentation. Misrepresentation is a serious charge and could result in a 5-year ban from Canada. It is important to be honest and forthright on your immigration application to avoid complications during your immigration process. Not sure whether you are submitting the right documents? Take the guesswork out of your immigration application by hiring a reputable immigration lawyer. Get started by subscribing to my channel from today or contact us to use services related to immigration to Canada. If you're also looking for online courses as well as free lessons and tips in IELTS and TOEFL writing and speaking, you could subscribe to another channel, IELTS Partner, via the link below this video, or for more information, visit our website at www.ieltspartner.net. Thank you very much for your time. May God bless you abundantly on your immigration and relocation journey. Until next video, have a good time and cheers.
Everything is nice.